Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Sunday, February 9th, 2020. Want to bring you an update out of Florida. I'm a couple of days late on this storyline, so please forgive me. This storyline is pertaining to Miss Brianna Williams, a young lady who has been linked to the death of her child neglect charges. And this story is brought to you by News4Jax. And if you need verification, please log on to their site. Lawyers for Taylor Williams' mom want more time to prepare defense. 5-year-old's remains found in Alabama after her mother reported her missing in Jacksonville. The woman charged in connection with the disappearance of her 5-year-old daughter, whose body was found a week later in rural Alabama, was in court on Tuesday. Her lawyers asked for more time to review the evidence against her. Brianna Williams, who reported Taylor missing from their new Brentwood home in November, is charged with 2 counts of child neglect and 1 count of lying to police. Investigators now suspect Taylor was dead before Williams moved there from an apartment on the south side. Thus, she has not been charged with causing her daughter's death. Following the discovery of the remains, Williams was hospitalized after what was described as a suicide attempt by overdose at Naval Air Station Jacksonville, where she worked. She was arrested when she recovered and remains in the Duval County Jail on $1.1 million bond. Williams, 27, attended Tuesday's pretrial hearing handcuffed and shackled, wearing a red jumpsuit. Her attorney asked Circuit Judge Kevin Blas for more time to review the evidence the state has gathered in the case. According to a 9-page summary of discovery in the case obtained by News4Jax last week, evidence that could appear in trial includes the 911 call where Williams claimed her daughter was kidnapped, Taylor's autopsy report, thousands of photos, surveillance video, police body camera videos, her Amazon order history, and information uncovered during search warrants at Williams' apartment, her home in Brentwood, and of her car, cell phones, and computers. The list shows investigators have thousands of pieces of evidence, nearly 4,000 crime scene photos, and dozens of videos of Williams and her car on base at Jacksonville and in Alabama, near the spot where authorities found Taylor's body. Phone records are key. Prosecutors sent subpoenas to cell phone companies associated with Williams' accounts, as well as Google, Apple, iCloud, and Match.com. Each could potentially piece together where Williams was, what she searched for, and who she talked to. Prosecutors also have Uber and Lyft records documenting Williams' activities with the ride-sharing services. Additionally, they pulled her Navy records, including when she accessed the base, and surveillance from stores in Jacksonville, Georgia, and Alabama. Prosecutors told Blas the state is still working to gather more information in the case against Williams. Evidence that could appear in trial includes the 911 call where Williams claimed her daughter was kidnapped, Taylor's autopsy report, thousands of photos, surveillance video, police body camera videos, her Amazon history, and information uncovered during the search of Williams' apartment, her home, Brentwood, and her car, cell phone, computers. Blas set another pretrial hearing for March 3rd. If you need verification for the story, please log on to WJXT News4Jax. So, right now, the current charges is that for her lying, one of the charges of the child is for her lying, and child neglect is what she is facing. It says she is charged with 2 counts of child neglect and 1 count of lying to the police. So I guess they're still investigating to where they can up the charge of murder when they get the said information. But you have to admit, her being remanded in jail with a high bond of $1 million+ speaks volumes. I personally think she's behind this child's murder, or they haven't deemed it that, but I say, my opinion, people don't bury themselves. We know this. And they surely don't bury themselves in other states that happen to be in the state where you're from and near the town where you grew up. I doubt a stranger knew all that information and decided, well, I think I'm going to bury this person's body, this baby's body, right near the town where she grew up. I'm leaning more toward this young lady, Miss Williams, did this to her child. Now, the puzzling part of this storyline to me is that when I listened at the neighbor at the old apartment saying he would see the child out playing during the daytime, unattended, in pajamas, first thing I thought of was the fact of that and the fact that the child hadn't been on the Navy base's school, nursery or whatever, since I think it was April or May. So one could do the math. The child goes missing in the fall. You count what the neighbor said about always seeing her outside, or on occasion seeing her outside unattended during daytime hours when she should be in school. No adult present. Him taking her back home on that one time. It makes me think the child may have been dead longer, and that's why they never could give a cause of death for Miss Taylor. I've always factored that in. That is why they could not give a cause of death. It's because perhaps she had been out there longer than the time the mother had reported her missing. And as I state, they're gathering information. The trial has been moved up. The hearing has been moved up to a later date because I guess both sides are needing to prepare for the said information and evidence against Miss Brianna. And it's sad that it came down to this. Now, some people may think she doesn't have anything to do with the child being buried out there in Alabama, but I'm no dummy. And as I state, human beings don't usually crawl into holes or throw themselves out in the woods and just lie out there because they don't have anything better to do. I usually just go with common sense. And I've got a funky feeling that whatever they have gathered, the state, from her apartment, phone records, the car, inside the car, tire tracks, yeah, some of you forget about those little things. They're going to put two and two together, you see. Because see, let me tell you all something about forensics. I'm watching a lot of true crime. What grows in Alabama may not grow in Florida. You get my drift? Yeah. See, people don't think about that when they're hopping in and out of cars. You track things on your shoes. You track things in your car. You track things into your home. So if you're going from state to state, you got all kind of debris on your shoes, on your tires, inside your car. And whatever went on in Alabama may not go on in Florida. As far as soil, leaves, tree stems, you get my drift. And thank God for the GPS system, because I know that's what led them to Alabama in the first place. So as I told somebody, anybody can use common sense. Those people have evidence, and naturally, they just won't tell you what they have because they just usually don't. But I can bet you there's a lot of stuff was going on in that car. A lot of stuff was back at her apartment. A lot of stuff is probably on her personal computer, telephone. And it'll all come out. She may never own that she murdered her child, but I'm sure the state will have something to give us the green light. She's behind the death of her child. I'm praying that they get information that can give a cause of death, because as you see, we're in the month of February and no cause of death has been revealed. But she can play dumb all she wants. I'm not flattered. I don't have any empathy, because as I state, I believe she's behind the death of her child. And I believe she kept her child out of school for whatever reason. I feel like she blanked out. She zoned out. She got tired of motherhood. And she went on her merry way and did what she wanted and left her child unattended. And then one day decided, I'm sick of this. Just going to get rid of her altogether. Was it for love? Was it for a mate? Freedom? Possibly all of the above. People do it every day. People check out. They get tired of being obligated to their friends, their family, their kids, whatever. And they check out. They get on. Except you shouldn't murder a child because you no longer want to be a parent. Just hand the baton over to somebody who would gladly take the responsibility. Because I'd rather she had went to someone else to live than ended up out there in the woods in Alabama. Like and share. Drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me once again. And you all have a safe and blessed week. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.